Welcome. Natural language is in its entirety imprecise, and contextual manipulations are relevant contextual factors that needs further work to be more accurately understood. So the current study will be a follow-up study of Renderis, Noack, and Folkum 2022 and aims to investigate whether pupil size varies due to contextually derived expectations and differences in the visual context when deriving precise and imprecise interpretations of absolute adjectives. So AAs are defined as adjectives that possess the maximal degree of a relevant property, like straight, for example, with context in the independent standards. However, there is evidence that these can both be used and understood imprecisely in context. So with these AAs, we will investigate what the processing efforts of pragmatics are. So Renderis et al. Investigated how costly it is to tolerate imprecise usages of absolute adjectives and what role context plays during comprehension by looking at two factors. So first, contextual expectations of precision, and second, a visual reference conceptual distance from the ideal maximum standard. So they found that contextual expectations play a pivotal role when evaluating the relationship between the pragmatics of AAs and their comprehension effort. So why pupilometry, you might think? So pupilometry can provide precise information about the time course of processing of the pragmatic implications for utterances. And inter alia, Monitor 2021 showed that pupil dilation can reflect variations in processing demands. So this means that this technology could give us a better picture of what the processing efforts of pragmatics might look like. So Trompedahl's 2015 study found that pupil size varies due to pragmatic manipulations, and suggested that the increase in pupil size reflects additional processing demands for comprehension of indirect requests as compared to statements. So they show that pupilometry can be used to study the processing of pragmatics implications of utterances, and that the increase in pupil diameter reflects the inference process as well as the cognitive effort involved. So we propose that expectations of precision mediate processing efforts of absolute adjectives. So we predict that the loose context, as you can see here, with an imprecise picture is more cognitively demanding than the strict context with a precise picture, since we cannot ignore the semantics of the sentence, and the loose context with the imprecise picture would therefore lead to bigger pupils, since increased cognitive demand leads to bigger pupils. So context would therefore influence the processing costs, and there will be a processing advantage for precise versus imprecise. So the pupilometry study will be conducted with iLink 1000+, and the design will be a 2x2 design with factors context, so we have strict versus loose, and picture, precise versus imprecise, with 12 critical items and 18 filler items in Norwegian. And the participants will be, the participants will hear the context sentence, then the target sentence, and one picture on the screen will appear. So the participants will be Norwegian L1 speaking adults. So here's an example of a critical item. So you can get either this context, this loose context. Jasmine rashly drew a line with her eyes closed on a piece of paper. Or you can get the strict context. Jasmine carefully drew a line with a ruler on a piece of paper. And this is the target sentence. This is a straight line that Jasmine drew. And here you would either get the precise picture, as you can see here, or the imprecise picture. So yeah, this research project is funded by the European Research Council, and you can learn more about the project by scanning the QR code if you're more interested in that. Thank you for your attention. I believe that's 5 minutes.